The first rule in investment is don't lose. And the second rule in investment is don't forget the first rule. And that's all the rules there are.
Warren Buffett ranks as the fifth richest person in the world, with a fortune exceeding $100 billion. Above him are Larry Ellison, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Bernard Arnault. Although he has a lot of money, he lives a very modest lifestyle. This is striking because we might expect someone with over $100 billion in his bank account to live surrounded by luxuries. Yet Warren Buffett chooses to live in a house he bought for $31,000 in 1958. He uses a regular car instead of a private jet and prefers simple hobbies like playing bridge instead of hosting expensive parties. But why would someone very wealthy have such a simple life? The answer lies in the habits Buffett has maintained over the years. Since he was a child, he had an entrepreneurial spirit, selling newspapers and other products. This entrepreneurial mindset allowed him to generate income from a very young age and prepare for the future. Warren Buffett is chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, a company that invests in other companies in different industries such as technology, railroads, energy, food, real estate, and real estate services. Of all the investments made by Berkshire Hathaway, more than 50% are in Apple, 8.5% in Bank of America, 7.6% in American Express, and 6.9% in Coca-Cola. By February 2024, Berkshire Hathaway's stock market value had surpassed $860 billion. Warren Buffett's empire was not built overnight, but was the result of a lot of effort, dedication, and above all, good habits. This is why it is important to understand that our daily actions can have a great impact on our finances in the long run.
Let's see what habits Warren Buffett has had in the past years, and let's see how we can incorporate them in our lives. Number 1 is spend wisely.
It may sound simple, but the reality is that many of us have no idea how to manage our money. No matter how much a country's citizens know about personal finance, most people don't know how to manage their income. In fact, it is believed that Americans lose as much as $1,819 on average annually because they don't know about finances. This means that by not understanding how to manage their money properly, they are wasting that amount on bank fees, bad investments, or simply splurging on things that aren't necessary. All of this can be avoided if people had better financial education.
Warren Buffett has repeated it multiple times. People thinking how to spend money they have not yet earned. To achieve better money spending, we need to change how we think about money spending.
For example, instead of just thinking about the price of something, we should calculate how long it takes us to earn that money. It is a way to give more value to our work and understand the real cost of things. It is also important to plan all our income and expenses. It doesn't matter how much we earn. We must have a budget and follow it closely. The second habit is to put money to work. According to Buffett, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. It may sound a bit confusing, but it's actually very simple. What he means is that we must make money work for us.
When we work an 8-hour job, what we do is working for money. But when we manage to make money without doing anything, then money is working for us.
The goal is to make our money produce and help us reach our financial goals, such as retirement, buying a house, or educating our children without having to work more hours.
Instead of letting our money locked up in a savings account or a bank, we put it to work in investments. Investments that offer profits, such as stocks. Shares represent the shared ownership in a public traded company, and you can profit if the price of the stock goes up.
This chart shows us how Apple shares, which were trading at $42 in February 2019, managed to increase by more than 340%, exceeding $180 in 2024. If a person had invested $2,000 5 years ago, today he would have more than $8,000. That's not bad. Habit number 3 is to work under unusual conditions. It may sound a little crazy at first, but Warren Buffett himself loves to analyze the financial market while eating a burger at McDonald's instead of being in his office. He says he always associates money with problems that need to be solved, and for that, you have to look at things from different angles. An example of this is Albert Einstein in 1905, his miracle year, as he managed to publish 4 scientific papers that revolutionized modern physics. Do you know where he wrote them? Interestingly, he did not write them in a physics lab, but in a patent office where he worked while living in Switzerland.
The idea is clear. If you work like the others, you will think like them.
And you will never be able to find something new or different. You have to be curious, look for rare sources, and study what no one else studies. Habit number 4 is to avoid losing money.
The first rule in investment is don't lose. And the second rule in investment is don't forget the first rule. And that's all the rules there are.
Basically, it means that the most important thing in the world of finance is to protect your capital. In other words, what matters is to keep generating new income. It doesn't matter if it's a lot of money or a little. Although it may seem obvious, Buffett's advice reminds us that it is easy to get carried away by the excitement or temptation to make more money quickly. The 5th habit that Warren Buffett mentions is to keep some money in cash. According to him, keeping some of the money in cash provides a kind of financial safety net in times of uncertainty or economic crisis. He even went so far as to say that cash is to a business what oxygen is to an individual. In addition, having cash allows entrepreneurs to take advantage of investment opportunities that may suddenly appear, especially when the market is bearish. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis, many companies encountered problems due to a lack of liquidity, that is, cash. However, Berkshire Hathaway, the company run by Warren Buffett by having a lot of cash, was able to navigate the crisis more steadily and take advantage of unique investment opportunities. For example, buying stocks after their price had fallen sharply, which usually happens when companies are struggling to survive. And in fact, in 2023, the media talked about Buffett hoarding cash because he saw a storm coming. The 6th habit is to pay attention to small expenses. These expenses eventually have the biggest impact on our finances, especially when our economy is not at its best. Things like buying coffee at a coffee shop every day instead of making it at home, or paying monthly subscriptions for streaming services that we rarely use. Also, discount coupons when buying food, clothing, or electronics can add significant savings in the long run. A case that reflects billionaires' attention to small expenses happened in China when Warren Buffett and Bill Gates decided to eat at a local McDonald's. Buffett insisted on paying the bill, and to everyone's surprise, he took out discount coupons he had brought from the US to pay for food to save some money.
The 7th habit is to think long term.
Buffett says to take things slowly and not to rush. Successful investing requires patience and discipline over time. No matter how good you are, some things just take time. Buffett compares this to having a baby.
You can't have it in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. You have to think long term, accumulating wealth little by little for important goals like your children's education or your retirement.
But it is not enough to incorporate new habits into our lives. We must also abandon those bad practices that have prevented us from building our wealth. Warren Buffett thinks that many people waste their money on totally ridiculous and unnecessary things, preventing them from achieving the good life. But if you manage your finances better, you can change your situation and have the life you want in the future. So pay close attention to these financial mistakes that Buffett says are the real problem. The first mistake is that most people neglect their personal development. Buffett says that investing in yourself is the best investment you can make. How? By improving your skills and getting a good education. Those are the things that can make you a lot of money in the future. Another mistake is the bad use of credit cards. Many people use credit cards wrong, especially when we want to buy something and we don't have enough money. We use the credit card and as if by magic we take the product home. For Buffett, however, this is a tremendous mistake.
At the end of each month, the bank that issued the credit card will send you a bill with the amount that you have to repay before a deadline, plus a little more for interest for letting you borrow their money.
But if you miss the deadline, the bank will charge you you even more interest. And that's how many people end up paying more money than what they have or intended for products that aren't even necessary in the first place. That's why Warren Buffett says it's better to cut corners. Stop spending too much on things just for pleasure. The third mistake is spending too much money in bars and restaurants.
Socializing is connecting with our friends and loved ones. It gives us emotional support and it helps us grow as people.
Good food and interesting conversations make us really happy. It is something inherent to being human. You can't avoid it. However, it is quite common for people, especially those with less money, to spend too much money on eating and drinking out. If you want to get rich, you must give up these luxuries, at least initially. Sure, we all need to socialize and have fun, but you can do it more economically. For example, you can invite your friends over. It's okay to stop going to those expensive places. Your emotional well-being might suffer a little bit, but you will have more money in your wallet. The fourth mistake people make, according to Warren Buffett, is wasting money on clothes. One of the most asked questions on the internet is why rich people wear the same clothes every day. Many believe that it is for simplicity and comfort. Wearing the same clothes gives them more security. This way they are freed from social pressure and do not get carried away by fashions, avoiding overspending, whether Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, or Warren Buffett.
Forget about famous and expensive brands.
Sometimes you pay a lot just to have a logo, but it's just fabric. There are plenty of options that are just as good and even better. You don't need expensive brands to look good. The important thing is to feel comfortable and confident in what you wear. The fifth mistake that keeps us away from wealth is gambling. People see gambling as a quick way to win. They easily think they can throw a few bills at a poker table or slot machine and walk away with deep pockets. But what is not taught is that gambling is not a sure get-rich-quick strategy, and we must understand the odds and statistics behind gambling. In casinos, the odds are always in favor of the house, which means that in the long run, most people lose more than they win. Believe it or not, governments make agreements with casinos to determine what percentage of minimum payouts slot machines must make. For example, according to one regulation, a Nevada casino in the United States must have a theoretical payout of at least 75%. That means that the most players can expect to win back is 75 cents on average for every dollar played. So the casino gets to keep that remaining 25%, and the gambler will never get his money back in the long run. Instead of betting on luck, Buffett encourages us to make smart financial decisions that will benefit us in the future.
So what can we learn from Buffett in terms of financial habits? We can learn that educating ourselves and understanding how money works is crucial. It is not only about making money, but also about learning what to do with it. In addition, patience and discipline are key to achieving a good financial position in the long run. The financial habits we adopt play an important role in our lives. Following Buffett's example and having solid habits, it's a must if we want to achieve financial freedom. Buffett once said, "Chains of habit are too light to feel until they become too heavy to break." In other words, the small decisions that we make every day, such as saving, investing, or spending, can add up and have a major impact on our long-term financial situation. And besides, when they become a routine, it doesn't even cost us anything to do them. But if we're not careful about our financial habits from the beginning, it will be difficult to change the course later on, or it might be even too late. This is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, do me a big favor and sub to the channel, like the video, comment in the comment section down below, and yeah, I'll see you next time.